G'day, my name is Chris. I'm the Unit Coordinator for COMS1000. This brief video is designed to introduce you to the unit, to give you a bit of an idea of what you can expect to see in the unit, and a little bit about what we expect from you. So first, just to introduce myself, I'm a marine toxicologist. My research interests are in the impacts of marine stresses on fishes. In particular, I work with the oil and gas industry to measure and predict the impacts of stress, and that stress is oil spills, hydrocarbon releases, dredging, noise, climate change, and most recently seismic exploration. I teach into a number of different areas around the university. My current role is as Associate Dean Teaching and Learning for the School of Science. You might see me from time to time during this unit, but you're unlikely to see me on a week-to-week basis. When academics speak to their industry partners about what they expect from our graduates, one of the top 5 things that comes up across all of those conversations is the ability for our graduates to be able to communicate to a range of audiences and in a range of modes. This unit is a foundational unit that gives you the building blocks to be able to develop those communication skills throughout your discipline-specific units through your degree. Our goal is not to make you an expert communicator in half a unit in first year, but it's to give those building blocks. And hopefully by the time you reach your graduation, you'll be able to explain very clearly to your potential employers why you're a good communicator and how you've developed those skills, and hopefully provide some evidence to them of those skills. The unit works on a co-taught model. In each of the workshops, there's going to be 2 facilitators. The first is a discipline-based expert. That person is from your particular field. They are going to be able to talk to you about how communication works in your field. Who is the audience for your communication? Why do you communicate? What's your main message that you need to get across? And how is evidence used in your discipline? The second facilitator is a communications expert. They're going to talk to you about the mechanics of referencing, for searching for information, and for crafting a piece of evidence-based writing. Just highlighting that phrase for a second, evidence-based writing, you're going to see it again and again through this unit. Because we have that academic expert from your discipline in the classroom with you, it's really important that we get your class registration correct. So I want to take a little bit of time explaining this. If you're not in the class that's associated with your course, we recommend you change. We can't force you to do that, but you're not going to get the most out of the unit if you're in a class differently. To use an example, if you're an agribusiness student, you're not likely to get an awful lot out of a course that's designed for an actuarial scientist, and vice versa. So please take a little bit of time to make sure you're registered in the right course. On Blackboard, there's a table that has which class is associated with which courses. Please have a look at it and see if you can get into it. If there's no space in the course, in the class that you want to get into, please remove yourself from the class that you're not supposed to be in, because that frees up a space for someone else to move in. We can avoid gridlock. If you have real troubles with this, please let us know. We are here to try and get you in that right class. And finally, it's really important that you do attend the class in which you're registered. There are assessment tasks and things that are going to be due at the start of class, and if you're in the wrong class, the due date will be at the wrong time. So please make sure that you do that. We're working on a 3 Ps method for this class. We need you to be able to prepare, participate, and produce. This is outlined very clearly in the unit outline. Prepare means to complete any pre-work associated for each workshop class. If you don't do that preparatory work, you're not going to get much out of the class. Each week there is a task that is submittable, and it's going to be worth marks, so there is an incentive to complete that pre-work. Make sure you participate in workshop activities. It's one thing to come to class, it's a completely different thing to interact with your classmates and to work together with your facilitators to produce the best outcomes. And finally, produce. Work steadily on your assignments. Don't leave them all to the last minute, particularly group assignments, because they're deceptively difficult. Make sure that you start early and that you work steadily to produce your work, and make sure you submit it on time. There are penalties for not submitting work on time. So there's three main groups of people in this unit. The unit coordinator, me, your facilitators, and you. I'm here to work on the administration of the unit, make sure enrolments are correct, the registrations are correct. I also administer the assessment tasks. So if you've got questions about submission dates and those sorts of things, I'm the person who is going to be able to answer those. Your facilitators in the class are there to guide your classroom learning, but they can't learn for you. You have to participate in the classes. They're also responsible for your assignment marking and your feedback. The figure I've got on the right-hand side here is a learning pyramid. It talks about the way that people retain material that is delivered to them. At the top of the pyramid is a lecture. If you sit in a lecture and don't participate and you just listen, you're going to retain a very small amount of information. The amount of information that's retained increases as you go down this pyramid. Once you start getting down to discussion, you're starting to retain 50 to 75% of the material that you're working on. This is where we're heading in this particular unit, this discussion and practice doing within class. If you already know the material, then you can help yourself learn it even better by teaching others. It's one of the best ways you can retain information. An important aspect of any class is the communication between staff and students. Please keep us informed if things come up. If you can't attend class, if you can't submit an assessment task on time, please let us know and we can work on it with you. So the next steps for COMS1000, please make sure you're registered in the right class. Go onto Blackboard and complete the pre-work for week 1 and we'll see you in the first workshop.